button, and it's going to do its thing. And we're back. Okay.
Hey.
Here is the map. This is the map. Here's where the ruins of Rhest are, kind of in the middle of that hex. You guys are in the castle in the swamp, and it'll take probably 2 days to walk through the swamp to get to the ruins of Rhest. And then there was 2 things that you had mentioned. One as we came back from break, and one that you mentioned beforehand. You were going to assemble the Farseer, and then somebody had mentioned, let's get the Slaad eggs out of ourselves.
Yeah, I'd like that to be just not a thing anymore.
Okay, you pause for a moment at the castle in the swamp after doing your demolition of one of the towers, and Cog is able to quickly perform surgery. It does take like 10 minutes to pull up these things, so over that next hour, Slake will re-prepare his mutagen, and the party is now staring at, it's like 5, 6 o'clock in the evening. It's still light out in the middle of summer in a temperate realm, but you'd get back like around like just a little bit after sundown to the shore, where you could then go to the cabin in the swamp. Like that same shore where you rested before with the lizard folk, you could get back there by sundown. It is in the general direction of where you're going towards the ruins of Rhest, or are you resting in the ruins of the castle of the swamp? Like where are you going after you?
Cabin in the swamp is where Sunny wants to go.
All right.
That's cool.
Whatever. Okay. All right, so it takes you a 3-hour walk. It's 9 p.m. The lizard folk have enough rafts that they're able to raft you down the water for another couple of hours. It's 11 p.m. by the time you get to the cabin in the swamp. You're tired. You guys
We collect our hostages.
Yeah, so
Crab and the turtle.
Gordon comes sliming up to Amadeus right away, and
See, I told you we'd bring him back.
yep, he lashes a bunch of tentacles on your arm and makes this little clacking noise. Gordon's happy to see Amadeus, and then yeah, Snapdragon had look after your turtle and your crab. He's got them in little cages, like little wicker cages or reed cages.
Do you plan to do anything with them? We could be safe here. Sunny's talking about the turtle. Like I think Sunny, in Sunny's mind, Snapdragon gets to take care of these things until Snapdragon matures.
Okay. He's happy to see that you're all here. He asks if you killed the cult. They're not going to come back, are
Not
they?
yet.
We got rid of the haunting. The haunting is gone, and we've made another step in the journey. But it'll be a few months before we can. The Slaad are done. The horrible monsters are no more.
Oh, good. We'll be able to hunt freely and chase the rest of the boggards out of the swamp.
Yes. It would be in the future if the boggards see reason. You should speak with them. If they are still,
I think we're going to
if they still try to eat you, then do not do that.
I think we're going to chase them out of the swamp. They'll be someone else's problem.
Sunny shrugs. Good enough.
That's nature for you.
Oh, who's a good mistress? Who's a good?
Yeah, they'll either go to the hills or to the forests. If we drag them north, the dwarves and the menfolk will get them.
Sunny shrugs. I don't. The dwarves and the menfolk. Okay, I guess that's fine.
Yeah, because Snapdragon doesn't look like he's going to make that decision.
Yep, that's fine.
So.
This evening, Brennos is going to use a communicate via dreams, just as a thing that happens during the resting period.
Okay.
he's going to attempt to contact Iron-Tongue in his dreams. So you can have some thoughts on that. I probably should have said something before I had food, which made me come up with the idea. So that was
Contact who?
Grandmaster Iron-Tongue, the mad dragon we've unleashed upon the world.
Oh, okay.
So I know we've got a few things before that point, so it'll give you some time to.
No, that's fine. You're going to do it that night, so
It'll be that night, so we're not there. We're not quite there yet, but yeah.
Are you creating another tree fort here and sleeping in the tree fort, or?
Oh, we can sleep in the tree fort, or
Oh, sorry, no, you're actually at the cabin in the swamp.
I could create a tree fort on the cabin in the swamp if we want, like an extra tree in a tree.
No, that's fine. I thought you were on the.
We're not on the shore. No.
Yeah. Okay, so you force march all the way back to the cabin in the swamp, and you're resting with Snapdragon. Okay, so how long does the spell take to cast?
You enter a dream state. In this dream state, you can visit the dreams of any other creature living on the same plane of existence.
So long
as if you had cast the scrying spell. If you're successful, so it's like a scry on them.
This is the dream domain power?
It's the dream domain power.
Oh, Brennos is doing this. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, Drinka made this mess, so we're going to bring Drinka back to the guy to fix it.
Or make it worse.
How could it possibly get worse? This is not how the stories work. Or it's exactly how the stories work.
Famous last words. This can't get any worse.
Okay, so Iron-Tongue, it's as if scrying, but it's supernatural, so I don't think there's a save. It says if you are successful, you can communicate with the person in the dreams you're visiting. So it kind of suggests that there is a...
Yeah, if you, in the dream state, you can visit the dreams of any other creatures on the same plane of existence.
Same chance of success as scrying. Okay, great. You have first-hand knowledge of the creatures, so there's no... You've met the subject, so there's no penalty. You don't know the subject well, like you've only encountered him like once or twice. Do you have a body part, lock of hail, or a bit of nail, or possession, or...
He's got Darinka in his head, which is also in the head of Iron-Tongue. How about that for a connection?
Okay.
That's about that. That would be the best I could muster at this point.
All right. I'm going to say there is a 1 in 3 chance the dragon is actually in a state that's similar enough to sleep, and I'm going to pick up that D4 right away because that is a dangerous thing.
Step on that over in your day. Where'd it go?
No.
It'd be on the list of fatal errors.
Oh, right under me.
Nice. Caltrop. All right. So let me roll the D3. 1, he's sleeping. 3, he's wide awake when you're trying to cast a spell. Okay. So he's sleeping, which means he doesn't get a will save.
Sleeping off the crazy.
And it's supernatural, so there's no SR.
All right. So you are now... Okay, so you are floating on stormy clouds, and it's at night, and every time there's a crash of lightning, you can see the world below is a horrible worm spawning, as in like earthworms, or like just writhing tentacles over across the entire surface of as far as you can see.
Iron-Tongue!
And Sejong is like riding on a cloud and like looking around, and like Sejong, his form, his human form.
Iron-Tongue, can you hear me?
I'm just going to go to the conversation layer and drop down some tokens. Where is Brennos? And there's Sejong. And then Darinka.
You shut it. Now apologize to the dragon. We'll get there.
I don't know how to spell Darinka.
Drinka, I believe. It is, and then I will confirm. So it's Diirinka.
D-I-I.
It's Drinka.
All right, and then we called him what? He had a name before.
Uncle?
No, it was something else.
Are you talking
Oh, it was
Iron-Tongue or-
it was the shadow something. Like the whispers in the shadow, I believe.
The voice? The whisper?
Voice in the shadow. The voice
Voice in the darkness?
Voice in the darkness. It was the monastery map was where the
Yeah, just not on the map.
voice, whisper, darkness, shadow. One of those keywords. It's like a synonym, like murmur or something like that. Chatter.
Chapter 2. Deities. The dwarf not there.
Oh, is it dwarf not there?
Yeah.
Oh, I was completely off. Sorry
Oh,
about that. In my brain, I would have.
that got crazy looking.
So you appear on the cloud with him, and you just feel the hovering presence of the dwarf not there, paying attention as you had to call upon your chosen deity for the day to cast this domain power.
Yes, I did.
See how they twist and turn. See how they worm and eat. They cover everything. They cover everything.
Sejong.
Huh? Who goes there? This is my cloud. Get your own.
It is Brennos.
Brennos. I know Brennos.
You know Brennos.
Brennos! He comes up to you. Sejong was not usually a touchy-feely guy, but in the dream he gives you a big hug. But you realize why he gives you a big hug. He, with a steely grip, pulls you close. Coming.
Aye, we've seen things that are coming. The chaos that leaks through.
Yes. You've seen it. It is coming.
You need your wits, Sejong.
Yes. Wits.
You have spent how long trying to prepare for something? You gotta get your mind back together.
Yes, wits. Crackle of lightning.
We spoke with
He looks over his clouds. He seems really concerned about the worms that are covering the world.
Geode.
Geode. The crackle of lightning, and in the clouds you can see his true form bearing down, like just staring down upon the little cloud that you're in.
He seemed concerned that you were overcome with madness and taint.
Because I have the sight. I learned something. Geode is jealous. He seeks to learn all the things.
He doesn't apply what he has learned, though. He is not willing to sacrifice self, body, mind, soul.
You need to free yourself from Darinka's influence.
No, he doesn't.
Well, of course you'd say that. He needs to protect the realms. You let him go. He's not like trying to talk to the dwarf that is not there.
Okay, subtract 4 chaos, as Darinka is going to answer some of your questions as per a commune spell. But while you're in the dreaming state with Sejong,
Who goes there? I was never there. Never there. I did not do this to him, friend. I just allowed him to remember what Geode made him forget.
we'll consider that two answers.
Alright. How many questions do I have? I need to commune real quick. I think it's 1 per 2 caster levels.
You reveal the veil from my eyes. Geode made me forget.
Come on, computer. Now's not the time for crashing.
There's an entire world. An entire world where silver dragons were sworn to protect, that is being overrun by demons. Why? Why do demons still try to invade the prime material? It's because the abyss is getting too full. It is like a boiling pot, spilling over.
How do I fix his mind?
He's fine the way he is.
Would be a madness god's response to that.
Yeah, your god has no interest in fixing his mind.
Right. How do I get rid of madness? You don't.
Why would you do such a thing?
Why do you take so much interest in me? Why are you so close?
Why? Why? Says the fly to the spider. Doesn't matter. Because you listen. Because you're special. Because you're rare. Because this place is important.
We'll consider that 2 answers. His communes are just completely batty, and you're getting information, and
He gives you what he gives you. In the chambers, when
you
Tyr
get
asks
1 question per.
it's 1 round per level.
Yeah, so 1 question per caster level. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're just burning through them really quickly. So Sejong is clearly mad about something he saw. The dwarf not there, Darinka's aspect avatar thing.
In the chambers, when Tyr came to ask for help.
Sejong,
Did he come back?
He's not back yet. Someone bore this sword, and in the dream he's going to pull out the platinum sword. Who was its bearer? Why was it there?
Drinka is disgusted by the sword and doesn't want to answer the question. He's not compelled to, but you know that the sword is a lawful good entity that Drinka hates.
Okay.
Doesn't hate it in particular, just hates its whatever.
The concept.
Yep. Sejong gets really excited. But he is not coherent enough to give you enough information. He's now petting it
Okay.
in the dream.
Ask better questions.
Why did they cast you out?
Why? Why?
And with his laughs of why, you hear like all sorts of maybe mad dwarves all crying out like why. Some of them are really important questions like why me or why does this have to be this way? But others are just more like why is the sky blue or
All of the whys.
all the whys. Yeah.
Do you want to know? Well, you wouldn't have asked if you didn't want to know. But in knowing, what good will it be? I, like a good dwarf, during a great retreat, or as the dwarven gods called it, a strategic advance to the rear, offered to stay behind. And I was captured because my brothers and sisters didn't fight hard enough.
That's a spooky place. The dream for a brief second was overtaken by a horrible, dark place that with flashes of light, not quite like lightning, you're pretty sure that those are gods casting spells somewhere. And you're seeing weird dragons? No, weird ships? Coasting through the storm? Flying ships that look like they're part alive but part constructed. And something really big in the background that is almost like a mountain in size, kind of opening up its great beak, and it has tentacles. And you can see one of the tentacles comes down and like scoops up this dwarf that you're pretty sure is Drinka. And then there's a flash of like a horrible amount of open brain surgery while he was awake. These horrible entities and a race of creatures that you now know are called mind flayers, or more specifically in their own tongue, illithids, and their dark powers that support them captured and tortured Drinka, driving him mad.
See now, don't you feel bad, Barnabas, talking shit about my uncle? He's had a hard time. He's got PTSD.
And from the blood of Drinka spilled that day was born the Darrow race. From the blood in his tears.
They glaze over that part of the dwarves' history books.
When he returns to the dwarves, the Darrow and Drinka and his twin brother are not allowed back in. At least not to the former seat of glory that they once sat upon.
I think you've seen enough.
he says, as you're very peculiar about this. Drinka does not like how reliving this memory and leaves. The spell is ended.
Sejong, where are you? Do you remember where you are?
He's looking around in his cloud. He saw what Dorinka showed you.
Oh. Shit.
I don't think you helped.
Sejong, we'll find a way to mend your mind.
Don't go down the hole. I looked at where Tyr went. Don't go down the hole.
Okay. He made it through. We know he made it through.
Amadeus. He is like the things that live there at the bottom.
Aye.
He is the key.
Amadeus is the key.
He can stand the madness. We could drop him down like we're fishing. Or we send him down there with a giant bomb.
I've got a cannon here. He can make you a bomb.
Or we send him down there to kill them. Once we have made him strong, once we have made him invincible, or we dissect him and make a magic item that will save us from the madness.
I was with you till dissection.
That's one of those like.
The potential is there. We must make a plan. We must make a plan. The cloud drinking.
Aye,
War
we must make
against the demons is just a distraction.
It's Brennos. You know that when you get that feeling of like, I had good intentions, but this seems to be sliding a little bit off the rails, and then you're like, I don't know what to do.
Bring up this to me. I will figure out the plan.
What you need to figure out the plan.
Amadeus.
Days will pretzel you.
I will pull him apart and put him back together and figure out what makes him tick. It is for the greater good, he says.
He is nodding agreeably, but he does not agree with what he is. He is doing the. Of course, yes.
Do this for me, Brennos. It is why I trained you.
We'll fix your mind, at least long enough to get some sense out of you.
No, don't let Geode near me. Geode, he wants the information for himself.
I don't trust that rocky prick as far as I can throw him.
Good. Doesn't even have a proper name.
Rhest, we'll find help.
Yes, the cloud will surely allow me for a quick nap. Yes.
He lies down and looks like he's pretending to sleep in his own dream.
I'm going to cast. I don't know if I can cast. I'm going to try to cast in the dream. I don't know if I can. I'm making shit up at this point. I have a spell called Pleasant Dreams.
Okay, I don't think you can cast Pleasant Dreams through Scry.
I have no ranks in spellcraft, so he doesn't know if he can do it or not. He's going to try.
Okay, well, you try and you don't quite cast the spell because you're in the dream state. Dorinka is not interested in helping you mend
No.
Sejong Iron-Tongue's mind, because he might actually think that he's one of his creatures.
In this state, he would be.
Yeah.
It's going to the drug dealer going, hey, drug dealer, how do you get somebody to stop using drugs?
And,
You
and
don't.
now it makes a little more sense. The little bit of knowledge that Darinka gave you and Barnabas is not even the tip of the iceberg of the madness that you could delve into. It's more of like pointing you towards the locked door.
Okay, I will leave his dreams.
Okay. You see that somebody in the room is actually not sleeping very well. As Thogram,
Mm-hmm.
I need a will save.
Of course. What map are we on?
We're just in the conversation area.
Oh, okay.
I could group all the party members. You guys are in the cabin in the swamp.
Dwarven resistance apply?
Yes, this is a spell. The DC of the spell is 25.
24. Fail.
Are you including the save from being close to Cog?
No, I'm not. 25.
And you have the +2 from Dwarven Resistance, right?
I did it, yeah. 25, Bob.
You have met the subject. A likeness or picture is a -2 to the save. So he made a picture of you. Okay, so the DC is actually 27 with the modifiers. All right. There is a hideous and unsettling nightmare of 2 black dragons that you encountered in the swamp, and they chase you and breathe and boil you in acid and burn you with their breath weapons and try to drown you. You awake fatigued. You take that evening 7 damage, and you are unable to regain arcane spells for the next 24 hours.
Ooh. Shit, Bob.
What do you have in a nightmare?
You have to shake Thogram awake for him to wake up. After about 5 minutes of like trying to wake him up, he does wake up, and he's got a bloody nose and looks really scared.
Bloody dragons were after me again. They got me. The acid, it was fucking horrible.
You need sleep.
I'm not sleeping for a while. Forget that shit.
You need sleep. I'll cast Pleasant Dreams on Thogram, because it counters fucking nightmare. Dream Domain! The power of Darrow will bring you towards victory.
Save it for tonight. I don't think we'll need his spells today. Hopefully.
Okay. So you sleep in a little bit, you get rest, and because of the Pleasant Dream spell, you are able to recover your spells the next morning. You're the last one. You're the last one awake, the last one to prepare, last one to get ready, and you kind of you wake up and pack your gear and study your spells while everyone's like eating breakfast and ready to go.
You owe Uncle one.
I appreciate that, Brennos. I needed the rest. Welcome.
Barnabas, whenever you got some time.
Spellcraft or not a chance to
Yup.
identify?
You had a spell cast on you. You didn't see it being cast, so give me a spellcraft DC 25.
Okay. $26.
You had a nightmare spell cast on you that evening.
And do I know the caster or not?
Nope.
There was a nightmare cast on me. I assume it was because of the artifact.
I think it was Rezmir.
Guy, pretty sure it was him.
When you said there was a nightmare spell cast on you, Widget goes, I didn't do it.
Right, fine. Would a private sanctum do it? Protect against this?
Probably not.
The nightmare kicked in almost as soon as you started sleeping. And you do have a sustenance ring, right?
Yeah.
So, Brennos, yeah, you wouldn't be able to start your rest period for 24 hours from the time you actually started resting.
So this day I don't have spells.
Now, this day you do because of Brennos' power.
Okay, but naturally with that nightmare spell I wouldn't have for 24 hours.
That spell is quite dangerous for one the likes of me. Would it work if I was in a rope trick?
Yes. You should. Nightmare's a very passive-aggressive sort of magic.
Dangerous.
It's kind of like a love letter that says "fuck you."
Why would he be targeted with a nightmare?
Did he offend any powerful mages recently?
Yeah, he did.
Indeed.
You think it's Rezmir?
Yes.
Because you were spotted taking the artifact.
Exactly.
And then you killed his dragons.
We all did that.
Yeah, he doesn't know that though.
I'm fine with him not knowing who you are.
I'm fine
Give
with him
us
not
an
knowing who
advantage.
I am either.
Pretty certain he knows who all of us are. Looks back to
Oh, who dares?
look back to Amadeus.
I don't think he knows me.
Yeah, Amadeus, you had a long talk with your
No,
trusted
Barnabas.
friend
Yeah.
about
Amadeus knows me for sure.
yeah, never.
Does Amadeus remember what he said?
Yeah, he said, "Who are your friends?" And you had a long talk with the trusted friends, and you talked about who you were, where you were from, what your names are, what you could do, who you work for.
Okay.
You remember saying he worked for that dwarf, and where you were going.
Okay.
Rezmir knows about the lost mines.
Yeah, Rezmir, you might know about the lost mines.
Does Amadeus know where the lost mines are?
Do you know where they
Do you
are?
have any ranks in knowledge geography?
None.
No, okay, so you know they're on the other side of the mountain somewhere.
Yeah, just
They're lost.
Right, so he knows the general direction, just not exactly where. That's cool.
Barnabas is holding his nose like so, just. All right, so this mad half-dragon sorcerer who's trying to collect all sorts of goodies for Tiamat now knows we're after. Does he know about the Spellforge?
It was not enough.
Alright, but he does know we're going to find a mine, which is typically filled with goodies.
Lost mine of dormant treasures is the way they.
Yeah. Okay, so we can expect that he will want to follow us to get there. On the bright side, that means he's not likely to interfere with us unless he thinks he can capture us.
Brennos prayed to Bernard Truesilver this morning to sort of counter out some of the chaotic evil hoobujubu. some lawful good hoobujubu.
Oh, there was a thing I wanted to do. We don't have to do it tonight if you don't want to. Barnabas wants to modify memory on himself. So he can remember what deal he made with the Archduke.
That's funny right there.
Around Aim and Woe?
Yeah.
Can modify memory. Defeat God things.
Yeah, whatever deal he made with Adramalik. So did he pledge his soul? Did he pledge a soul?
What? Yeah, and what happens when something was happening when Aemon was dying? What happens when Aemon dies?
So, you conjured Aemon by twisting the pit towards hell, right?
Yeah, we can do this. If you want to plan this out some more, that's fine. We can do this another night. Just know that it's coming.
Okay, that's fine. You're thinking about it. Or you don't unlock the right 5 minutes of your memory today.
Okay, whatever.
So, we've got wizards casting spells at us, and things are pretty interesting, I'd say.
Well, I'd like to find a counter for the spell.
Yeah, Brennos has it.
Do you have it every day?
Not this evening.
You can stay up and do watch. We'll let you sleep in for 2 hours, just like today.
My Barnabas,
Yeah.
me uncle, protects you from that spell.
Ah, fuck.
Had a chat with me uncle, by the way. So
He's quite
you
a
know
stand-up guy, I must say.
He is actually more than you're not wrong, actually. Sort of stare off blankly for a bit. You knew the master who might be a little upset right now, and that wasn't him. Like, all he did was, remove some modifications to his memory.
Well, first of all, then it was him. It was.
No, I don't think it was him.
Yeah, he did a thing and then he went crazy. So yeah, he did it.
Well, no, he was previously crazy. He did a thing to allow him to be crazy again.
So he did it.
He was made not crazy against his will.
Oh, the humanity. Right. So he did a thing, he went crazy. Anyway, what did your fecal artist uncle have to say?
Fecal artist? What was this?
Yes, because he's the equivalent of the madman down the street from the great library who paints on walls with his own fecal matter.
That's a little harsh. I mean,
in God form, of course. So I'm sure it's very pretty fecal art.
you don't understand. He, faced the things beyond. Like, the things that are coming. He fought them and lost.
And it drove him nuts.
Well, no, the tinkering in his brain drove him nuts. The illithid something or other. The mind flaker. Flaked up his mind good.
Sure. So we're back to he's insane. So
Well,
congratulations.
whatever. They got moments of clarity. You know, there's times when they're all right. Between the gibbering, you just have to listen between the gibbering. Look for the non-gibberish in the gibbers.
Sun shines on a dog's ass twice a day.
Are you guys adventuring in your fucking dreams? Is that what's going on?
Not me, it's your fucking dwarven friend. You know what? You dwarves have a little dwarven powwow, figure out which of your gods we should be following, and you let me know.
Today, I called out to Baronet Trusilva to help fight the Banshees. To help fight the Banshees.
Sorry, Thogram, looks like it's going to be a long night for you.
Regarding the Banshees, is that one coming back?
No, banshees don't do that.
But what about the other two and then the mother?
Well, no, there'd be the mum, yeah, and maybe two sisters. So, two sisters would be like the one we just fought. So, more or less, not that big a deal.
Speak for yourself.
It's the mum we need to have concerns over.
It's kind of like, so do you need the death wards?
Oh, yeah, we'll be needing those.
Oh,
I,
shit.
I prepared another anti-incorporeal shell.
Also, very.
They make me feel very safe.
Agony nods to that. Pat Sunny on the shoulder.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. We can fix Sejong.
Yeah, all right.
You said a thing was undone to drive him insane, but something else has driven him insane. So can we drive him not insane or redo the thing that made him not insane? The temporary fix.
Your gemstone knows the answer to that, fancy pants. You come to me with your answer.
Oh, great Geo, do you give a flying fuck about Sejong Iron-Tongue?
He does give a flying fuck about Sejong Iron-Tongue because Sejong Iron-Tongue knows
I'm
stuff
getting
that
something. I'm getting something.
Brennos believes him and
Oh, no, that's just a giant mental turd. That is the one shit he had to give and has none left. All right, moving on.
Sejong knows something that Geo doesn't. That makes Geo jealous. He cares.
The great god Glimmer in the Geode is beyond such petty emotions as jealousy.
Yeah, fucking no, he's not.
Oh, we're gonna have this argument. Whose god's got bigger brass balls?
No, we are not having this argument because I already know the answer.
The pantheon of dwarves obviously has bigger balls.
Can we have this conversation while we're walking?
Aye, it's good conversation topic while walking.
Yeah, sure, we can do that.
Okay, are you bringing Mister and Gordon with you to the castle or to the?
Yeah,
Mister comes for sure.
Okay.
Gordon just hangs on Amadeus.
All right. Combination of walking, taking your little raft, and having a bunch of flyers in the party, and then the tether. You spend a full day trekking through the swamp.
This is a miserable part of the fucking world. I fucking hate this place.
Where do you camp that night? Because you're not quite at the ruins of Rhest.
In a treehouse.
In a tree fort. In a tree fort.
In a swampside tree fort, keeping the alligators and the snakes at bay. That evening, Thogram uses overland flight, correct?
I don't know if you got an on it or not. Let's look at his character sheet.
believe Thogram has overland flight. Give me a second. Thogram. Oh my god, it's not on sheet. Take it
Is
back.
it ever? Where is his list of
Does
spells?
do the stars mean he's prepared them or he's cast them?
Abundant. I think they're prepared.
I would
Yeah, that's the way I would do it. You
Okay.
have it there. If you prepared it, once you've cast it, you take it off.
And he doesn't. Yeah, he does not prepare overland flight.
Okay.
No.
So, all right. So he was in the boat with everyone else, which means somebody else was tethering Brennos around.
The widget could tether Brennos.
Okay. Barnabas is an overland flyer.
No, he's not.
Is not. But Eamon has wings.
Eamon has.
Also,
Eamon's
Sunny-
wings. Sorry, Eamon's wings are only good for minutes per day.
Okay, for short distances.
So Sunny can fly, and Mystra can be tiny if needed.
Okay. Like Mistress Tiny.
And then Sunny turns into a bat.
Yeah, and then you guys have enough room in your 6-man boat. Okay. All right, so yeah, you are camping in a tree house, and then I need Thogram's, like the second he goes to sleep, he's being nightmared again.
I'll roll.
And because he started resting after the previous nightmare, like after he woke up after the 2 hours, then like your spell isn't active.
Yeah.
So
Plus 14.
+1 for
That is with the plus 1.
that's
That's
with
with
the cog thing.
okay, DC 25.
Was it 27 before? Because
27. Oh yeah, sorry, 25, 27 with the likeness. Yeah, they drew a picture of him
Oh, 14.
or carved a statue or something.
Nope.
Okay, so he takes 4 damage, is fatigued, and can't recuperate arcane spells. I don't think he cast many this day,
No, he didn't.
but fatigued.
Brennos hears Thogram basically being tortured through the evening
Yep.
and will worship Drinka in the morning.
Oh, funny. Because Baron True Silver doesn't grant that domain, right? Her domains are.
Community domain is the one I really want. You can remove sickened and you can get a bunch of people to take your saving throw. So a bunch of people could use my saving throw against like getting exploded into a billion little giblets.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, you call upon Dorinka again in the morning. You just drink is giggling in your ears as you're praying.
It's one of those. I tried to be lawful. It just doesn't work.
Well, healing domain. You could put a lot of the bobos back together.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You can put the bobos back together, but the brain damage is still like a thing. Yeah. All right, so it's back to drink.
All right, I'm going to open up. Go back to our tactical maps. I'm going to find your tokens somewhere, which is the best ones are probably at the swamp. There you are. Stay petite. Copied a lot of you.
I think we need an Amadeus there too.
Yeah, Amadeus, space, Gordon. Did I completely remove Amadeus from there? Yeah, probably. Where's Amadeus? Got it.
Tell me that you failed your saving throw on the next day, forcing
I
me to worship Drinka.
I failed my saving throw again.
Yeah. So Brennos is worshiping Darinka to protect you from the nightmares. We have so much chaos and evil points, people are going to stop letting me into churches.
I'm sorry, you need to have a bath in holy water before you walk through these doors.
So that spell, kind of spell is it?
Divine? A very rare divine spell?
What level is it?
Second?
How long would it take to craft into an item?
The 24-hour second circle cleric spell. That's non-standard.
Marty,
Mm-hmm.
would you let me craft this into an item?
Downtime, maybe.
I think I'm gonna have to make downtime.
Well, the treasure hoards, right? The two dragon hoards.
Yeah, part of crafting an item is casting spells, though. So you might not be able to craft that while you're fatigued.
So I'll have to. Well, the idea is I'd get Brennos to keep doing his thing.
All right.
For the time I craft.
You're thinking about this in the boat.
I'm thinking about it. Yeah.
Yeah. You guys are coming down basically like a waterway, a stream, and you can see some really ancient vine-covered fluted towers that flank a veritable lake with ruined buildings kind of poking out from the water of the lake. The smell from the swamp, this is a particularly fetid area, and the water is brackish, cloudy. And yeah, Barnabas, by the outline of the tower, these are the ruins of Rhest, an elven city that was destroyed long, long ago.
You fucking telling me that there's a couple of big ass black dragons that lived in here?
Yes. That is correct.
Good thing we didn't fight them here.
Yeah, fucking bullshit is what this is.
Yeah.
Good thing they're dum-dums.
Okay, the waterways are slow moving. You pass by the first tower. These look like old, towers that might have been once part of a wall. There are still spots where you could stand on them. The elves made stonework to last. We'll call the ones that are dotted as watchtowers.
Okay.
The map was just a dot.
Yeah.
So this whole place.
Not necessarily. Gog pulls out gold chip and his detect metals.
Okay. I can odds and appreciation to Cog's idea. What is the area of your detect?
Let me grab it. I think it's 60 feet. Let me check. Cog. And the thing is called it's the metal yard protection, and it has a range of 30 feet. However, the wielder can also concentrate on a special metal. Within 30 feet, the rod points to any. It's 30 feet.
Okay, so
it's a lot of 30 feet to go.
Here's a 30-foot.
It's 30 feet.
Oh, that's 35.
Wasn't there a way to use locate object as a spell to make the pulse big?
Yeah.
Right, there was this extra power in the thing that the wizards are using to search.
Also, there are special doses. Clean space. No.
It's 30 feet is still 30 feet. This will We should probably not search in every square inch. Let's try all those buildings over there.
It could also be deeper than 30 feet in the water. Might have to go swimming.
We could also try drawing out the fucking banshees before we start searching for treasure, if you prefer.
What's that?
I mean, we have the one thing that they are all obsessed with.
Yeah, because you camped, you guys arrive here probably at 2, 3 in the afternoon. Today's weather is warm with a bit of wind. A few clouds in the sky. But otherwise a somewhat stifling summer day. Most of you have your endure elements. Amadeus is sweaty and complaining though, because I think he's missing his.
Yeah, that's what his endure elements was on.
Yep.
Murder, rip your wings off, fucking strangle them with the wings.
Are you all right, Amadeus?
No, not. It's hot and it's humid and awful out here.
Would you like a spell for that?
Yes. Please.
You don't have your pin. That's right.
Okay. Sunny will use the mnemonic enhancer to prepare a force punch. In case there's a ghost in here, I'll force punch it away from me. And then a endure elements, and I will give the endure elements to Amadeus to make him less Grumpadeus.
All right. So where are you guys going in your boat? You get a bunch of flyers.
This is very good questions.
Let's go to the town hall, that big thing in the center.
All right, so you start heading towards.
Brennos is going to be basically pointing a detect evil in the general direction that we're going, angled down into the water, because if a banshee something other nonsense comes out of the water, he wants to know about it before it comes out.
Okay. Should we distribute the death wards now?
Remind me again how long they last?
The death wards
Not very long at all.
last
Yeah.
4.
About 10 minutes.
Well, let's see. 12 minutes.
Yeah, it's not a lot of time.
In that case, I have enough for 1, 2, 3,
Has
4,
everyone-
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We could give one of us
Distribute them.
potion. We could use one simply to, find them. And once we found them and they're up and about, the rest of us can drink and we engage.
I honestly believe if they hear us say we have the Farseer, they will come to us.
No. Let's do it that way then. Bear in mind, alchemical allocation is what I'm using, so you're going to have to pair up to make it fast. It's you drink something, then you drink your potion, spit it out, and somebody else can drink it.
Alchemists are disgusting.
Fucking.
Okay, so there's this. While you guys are deliberating on whether or not you should drink your
Ghost touch.
death wards, something's happening to the water, Brennos. You didn't really sense evil from it, but normally water just all of a sudden just doesn't turn inky black. It's like some sort of tar or ink or something that is just like rising up from the bottom.
I think there's a big cloud under the water. Big oil burst.
This is very bad.
I don't think this is good.
Thogram's
I certainly wish I could be following somebody other than my uncle today, because my uncle fucking sucks at swimming.
Thogram's casting a fly
Yeah, okay, so hold on a second. I can't do all this quicker than. So ink is happening in the water, and then
Initiative.
initiative.
Nope, fuck that. Back to Overlook. Oh, sweet home. Under the bed.
There we go. Add Horde of the Dragon. Something there. Some tank. Um, I don't know where I put these tokens. Just bear with me. Aha. Okay, now I got them. Mhm. Okay. That tentacles that begin to rise around your boat.
Fuck's sakes.
As you get the feeling that there's something very big that is just below your boat in the inky dark. They're kind of like each one is representing one big ass tentacle, but the tokens are whatever it is. It's not an octopus, or there's many of them, as there are 10 tentacles beginning to rise up from the ground, and it looks like they're about to enclose in on the people in the boat. The other flyers are close enough to the ground, at least Brennos and Widget were, because they were aiming their detect evil into the ground, and no evil came out. Like you must have been pointing at the thing. And then I'm going to roll initiative. Initiative for the giant tentacles is +6. Good Hope's not running, right?
No,
No.
Oh, yeah.
We're just cruising along.
Make decapistations.
Decapitation? What the hell? What are you talking about?
This thing's gonna kill us.
A decapus,
Decapus?
as opposed to an octopus. Gordon's awake, mistress in statue form. Oh, it goes last? Fuck. No, sometimes it happens. Alright. Look at those initiative rolls, man. That's awesome. Barnabas goes first. That's a freaking switch. Barnabas.
tentacles. Barnabas is going to cast Fly and fly up.
Yes, so the tentacles are kind of like surrounding the boat. This.
Yeah, Barnabas can cast Fly. GTFO.
Okay, cast Fly and go straight up out of the boat.
Coward.
Yep. Tactical retreat. Brennos. You're tethered to Widget.
Yep. So I'm just rereading the tethering rules to figure out. Tether, willing creature, glide along with flying creature, flies at a minus penalty. I could feather fall into the water, down into the depths, and become dead. I don't want to do that.
Why not?
We're going to. Am I being threatened by those things currently?
The tentacles are 20 feet out of the water. So
Does he have cover because he's on top of the boat and the thing is underneath?
yeah, I'd say so. Nah, they're pretty. He's got pretty good sight from there. So, yeah, you're being threatened by the tentacles right now.
Okay. Brennos is going to judge
Wait
this.
a second, which means that when Barnabas you flew, there's an
That's why he's asking for cover from the boat.
because you're directly above the boat. Yes, Barnabas
Brennos-
had cover and was able to go scooting high up. You're only 15 feet, no, 30 feet off the ground. Yeah. Just out of reach of the tentacles right now. Brennos, you are threatened by the tentacles, and the creature can see you.
Okay. Brennos is going to take a defensive action, draw his axe, or he's going to be defensive, draw out his dwarvish war axe,
Okay.
and will judge this situation to be shitty. Explicitly, we are going to say, oh, I don't know, protection and protection is AC and purity is saving throws in case it does one of those. We're just gonna be like,
Okay. Is that it?
I've got one action left. I will attempt to identify the tentacles.
Okay, give me a knowledge nature.
All right, that's a good sign. +9 to identify things. 27.
Oh, this is called a giant lake decapus. They are just really hostile, freshwater dwelling, huge octopus-like creatures, except they have 10 arms.
It's a big octopus with 10 thingies called a deca something or other. It's just an animal. But fuck it. Fuck that animal.
Yeah, they're normally huge animals with the subtype aquatic.
Fuck that.
By the amount of ink, though, there might be a couple of them down there. Maybe 3 or 4.
Ooh. Ooh. Okay.
Okay, so yeah, you're yelling.
Yep. Yelling, and he's got a weapon. And he's all bundled up, tied onto the. Let's go someplace nice.
Amadeus. You could grapple an octopus, can't you? Right now, because it's thematic and fun, each of the tentacles is like a separate creature right now. Like you could attack the tentacles if you wanted to. Sure.
He'll punch a tentacle.
Okay.
Where is this? There we go. 1d20 plus 128, because there's nothing going on. Power attack, AC 44.
Yeah, you smack a tentacle. It was quite easy to do.
29 points of damage.
You disable a tentacle.
He grapples the tentacle, the broken tentacle.
Okay, you kind of break it. One part is wobbly, and you grab the bit at the bottom.
Yeah, and he'll go in the water. That be.
Okay.
Let's do this. 39, 36. Grapple check of 47.
Yeah, you're grappling the tentacle. There's a creature that it's attached to.
Alright, he jumps
Got
in
your
the water.
arm.
What's that?
He jumps in the water.
Okay, you jump in the water.
Do you hold your breath?
Yes, I hold my breath.
You should
Will I
hold your breath.
exhale before I jump in? Because that's the way it's done.
No, like if you do the action to prepare yourself, I think you get double the number of con points.
Yeah. Yeah, your con points right now, if you held your breath points is
Double
double
your
your
con.
con, which is what?
22, so 44.
Okay.
If you didn't know you were going in, you'd only get your con.
Okay, and what did you get with your grapple?
47.
Which is 20. 47. Okay, Amadeus. You had how many actions left?
I have 2 actions left. Like after the punch and grab, I had 2
Yep.
actions left.
Okay, so Amadeus actually jumps in the water and pulls himself towards the thing, and all of the tentacles are going underneath the water as you have grappled the creature that is attached to all the tentacles.
Okay.
And let me get another token out, because this is what the creature looks like when you're face to face with it.
I think I'm looking at 2 eyeball things in a hood. Or am I looking at a mountain? Or am I looking at like?
No, it's 2 eyeballs are there, and
Okay.
it's kind of emerging from the water. So yeah, Amadeus, you are grappling the huge creature after destroying one of its tentacles or disabling one of its tentacles. I'm just going to remove that tentacle from the.
That's all my actions?
Well, no, you grabbed and grappled. I don't know what's the normal, and then you moved. So you took 1 action to get into the water.
Okay, so I guess I'll punch it again. The
In the 3 action
itself.
system, breath points are going to go by quick.
Yep.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna punch the creature itself. Oh, I'm underwater. Never mind.
You're not going to drink it?
I will spend a key point to increase my AC.
Right. Punching is half damage with slashing or bludgeoning with a -2 to an attack.
Yes, but grappling damage is just.
Yeah, it's just kind of a squeeze.
I'm just gonna squeeze all the ink out of you.
All right, yeah. The thing is kind of pulling back all of its tentacles, and it's like fully. You've got
So
it.
that was 1 breath point, right?
Yeah, that was 1 breath point for Amadeus. You could tick that off.
Okay,
that'd
sure.
be awesome. So you're down to 43, and Amadeus is thrashing around the water. You can kind of see where he disappeared, but that ink is thick, and apparently these creatures are able to see through their own damn ink. Okay. There are other creatures down there. They just haven't shown their tentacles. What are you doing?
Now that one's fucking busy, we're getting some altitude. you big fat ass, slowing me down.
Yep.
I'm gonna drag them over the boat, but up and over the boat.
Okay, there is an open spot on the boat to drop Brennos in if you wanted, because Amadeus jumped in the water.
We're gonna drag him up and in that direction with 1 move,
Okay. Yeah, I can just drag Amadeus up.
and then Widget's turning his ass invisible.
All right.
You You don't need to see me.
Oh. I almost forgot. 2 con and 1 wisdom damage.
Oh,
We did drink them.
Yeah.
All right, it's
It's
concerned about Amadeus.
I was gonna grab you, I swear.
All right, right. No, it's a big dumb animal. It's just hungry. Agony is going to swoop down, kinda taking advantage of Amadeus' opening, and get close enough to the boat to haste this group.
Yes.
And you can just see where Amadeus is thrashing. Like every once in a while, you can see like a hand or something like that. And we'll, I think, no two of which can be 30 feet apart. So yeah, Agony is hovering right above the boat where Slake is, and a haste goes off. Then he will ready his haste attack, I guess. Slake.
This is one of those cases where I have a hard time not picturing him just sinking to the bottom like an anchor.
Well, Slake has 2 ranks in swim with a plus 12 strength bonus.
I will be honest with you. This is the mechanics of the game say he can swim, so he can swim.
Yep. Yeah, Slake is going to.
Physics of reality. He does not displace enough water to swim. It's not possible. Like it's
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
All right. Fighting underwater, huh? Slake draws an adamantine javelin and then jumps off of the boat into the water. And then it's going to, make a swim check, which he does, and then he's going to stab at the creature that he can barely see. He hits, maybe. He hits and does D6 plus. This is a javelin, but he is single-handing it, so it's like he's hitting with his javelin. There's no bard song yet.
No, not yet.
And it's a piercing weapon, so he does 20 damage to the creature. And Slake is now under the water, but kind of riding the creature's back almost, just thrashing around in there. Just a lot of churning black water. Slake is down there with Amadeus. Gordon? Did Gordon stay in the boat, or?
No, Gordon's on Amadeus' back. Gordon is going to aid Amadeus on his next grapple check.
Yes, grapple. Okay, so Gordon is also latching onto the horrible thing.
He does.
Does Gordon need to breathe?
Yeah.
How conny is Gordon?
Not very.
Okay, he might come up eventually. I think it's 2 breath points to aid. Right?
To grapple it. Yep.
Hang on. You know what? He might actually swim for the surface because Gordon doesn't know to hold his breath.
Sure he does. Creatures that go under the water more than 2
Yeah.
strength score, even.
Alright. Gordon's con. Oh, actually, has swim rank.
Yeah, huck a dog in a swimming pool, it holds its breath.
It actually screams. With 14 con.
What's that, 14? 28 breath points, he spends 2 aiding in the grapple.
13 more rounds of fighting underwater.
Yeah, that's forever. Cog.
So the creature is still visible?
No, it's under the surface of the water, at least 5 feet down, because you can see Slake like disappearing in the water and trying trying to attack it. And
Okay, with a extendo arms. If I take an action to extend the arms. It's 5 feet down. Extend the arms. Yeah, I could reach it. Lunging, extended arms.
okay, so you're just reaching over Barnabas and punching into the water.
Extend the arm. Use a piercing weapon.
Okay.
I've seen
Chain
fishing.
piercing, 2 actions.
And then
flurry.
the bards hasn't sung as yet, right?
Nope.
Okay. Potential hit, and a miss. You're plunging your bladed hand into a dark, inky pool.
Okay, got it. I was like, I didn't roll yet. Understood. 3, 4, 5. Uh, 33, 27.
2 hits. Roll your last one just so it's not a 1. Not a 1. Okay, great.
Okay, so combine the damage.
Yep.
2, 74.
Holy crap. Oh, my giant decapuses have 180 hit points. It is bloodied. Decapi. All right. Cog's turn. Eamon.
Eamon will ready in action in case a tentacle comes up. Otherwise, he's protecting those on the boat.
Okay. Thogram.
Can't see that thing anymore.
No. Cog seems to be able to plunge his bladed hands deep enough to the water. And you're on your riverboat, so probably not a good platform for the 6,000 pound.
Or I just drop the cannon on it.
I hope it goes someplace nice.
Watch that. He's gonna ready a fireball if something comes up. Like to try to clip something properly.
Boom! All right. Running a fireball. Sonny,
Defensively.
you're flapping around as a bat. You're a bat right now, right?
I am a bat, yes. Do we want to rain or do we want to control them? Here, I have something fun. Sunny is going to flap away and down. Actually, sorry, I have to be from here. Sunny is going to make a 200-foot long ramp that starts at him and goes down across this way that is made of rainbows.
A rainbow bridge?
I'm making a blazing rainbow. It's a 6-circle druid spell that lets you form a bridge or ramp that is 5 feet wide and 10 feet long per caster level, so 200 feet long. Allies on the bridge gain a bonus equal to your wisdom modifier on their check, saves, and CMD against being removed, to resist being moved from the bridge.
120 feet long.
200 feet long. 120 feet long. Yes. Yes. A big fucking rainbow. Sunny's giant rainbow.
There's 60, and then I don't know if it actually goes all the way down, but it just sort of, you gotta just...
Yep.
Okay.
And from here, you will be protected from being grabbed. Like, it's a +9 on your CMD against being grabbed.
And then at what point in the rainbow madness does it actually go underwater?
It depends on my height and geometry, because that's the start from my square, and it's a 3-round action to cast. A 3-action spell to cast.
Okay. So we're going to say everything that's filled with black is actually underwater.
Okay. All right. Get on the rainbow. Taste the rainbow. Ride the rainbow. The rainbow will protect you. It's also very bright. It gives you get the dazzled condition. It's -1 to hit while standing on the rainbow. It's a weird spell. I've prepped it for 2 months trying to cast it,
waiting for
Hey.
waiting for an excuse.
Okay.
Cast Rainbow Bridge at night just to use it.
Just
Well, it was like I wanted to use it to get to the to cross the swamp, to get to the tree fort, or to get to the tree, but it was too far. The bridge wouldn't reach.
So there are, in a second here, tentacles rising on the other side of the boat, which is now where the rainbow is. You don't see the creature, but there's bubbling tentacles all kind of rising up at around this spot. 8, 9, 10 tentacles.
Now, on the Rainbow Bridge, what's nice about this is for you to stay on the Rainbow Bridge, you get a +9, and for enemies to fall off the Rainbow Bridge, they get a -9. So it's a total of +18 on CMB. Like, sort of delta.
So if somebody tries to cross your rainbow...
This is my bridge, and then you just send Slake down it. Just go bowling pin down the bridge.
Bowling pin goblins off the bridge like it's Lord of the Rings. Got it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right, so the tentacles begin rising. I think there's some readied actions that go off. So Agony had a readied action. That was his haste attack. He's not within reach of them. There's this giant rainbow ramp in his space. So that doesn't go off. Eamon Woe had a readied action to... Can't reach. And then Thogram had a readied action to fireball the surface of the water when tentacles appeared. Okay, so this Decapus is going to have a hard time because 10 of its tentacles might just get scorched off of his body. What's the reflex of the... what's the reflex DC of your fortitude save?
It's going to be an Uno plus.
What's the DC of your reflex save? That's what I'm trying to say.
For the fireballs, it is 17, 20, 20.
Okay, I also need a caster level check.
1, 2.
Because it's a possibility that you force the fire spell into the water.
Okay.
You have a +13, I think. It's a fire magic on Volcanica.
Yeah.
29.
Yeah,
All right, the fireball also affects the Decapus that is just below the water. Like it whoosh all the steam and you end up burning it. So its reflex save. What's the DC?
Let's see. 10 plus int plus spell level.
Yes, that's how DC works.
17, 20. It's a fireball. 20. Wait, 21 because of the Volcanica.
Volcanica doesn't add to DC.
Some bitch.
20. It makes it either way.
Okay,
Int
so
plus 7, 20. Yeah.
all right, and then how much damage?
10d6. 28. Not that much.
Okay, the 28 is enough to destroy the ones that failed. So 1, 2, 3 of the tentacles are destroyed by the fireball. And then all the other tentacles take 14 damage, which is not enough to destroy them. And the creature itself took 14 damage.
Nice.
Just adding the 14 damage to all the tokens. A great big ball of steam and a horrible smell of burning pens. It's not that kind of ink, Marty. Whatever. A plasticky smell, all mixed in with the swamp gases. You don't light the entire swamp on fire. It's not that kind of swamp. At least not here.
It could be.
Boom.
So that was Thogram's readied action, and then the tentacles actually do get to attack because they can reach this front line of people over the bridge. So Is there any? Yeah, I guess there's cover from the Rainbow Bridge.
Sure. It doesn't talk about a thickness. I have no idea. It's solid light.
Okay, so Cog, you get cover, nat 20 on the first tentacle and a 37 on the second tentacle.
Oh, 37 misses. 20's good.
That nat 20, let's confirm the critical. 33 to confirm.
No.
Okay, the tentacle is like wraps around you and squeezes for 9 damage, and then it makes a grapple check. (42 CMB).
I did not say I was fighting defensively.
Nope.
So let's see, 16, 23, 34, 35, 36, 37, 44, 44. What did you get? Oh, yeah, 44. So, no.
You have a 44 CMD.
Monk.
Okay. So that's one tentacle that attacks you, and the second one also attacked, but missed with AC 37, correct?
Yep.
Damon?
Yep.
(24 and 29?
No.
Okay, and then Agony. That's 2 tentacles. 23 and 26 are misses as well. And then who gets the last tentacles? The odd tentacle. 1 is a Cog, 3 is Agony, 3 is Agony. AC 27 is also miss. Okay, so there's like a big line of tentacles along the edge here, all flipping over the Rainbow Bridge. And then we've got a third octopus thingy. Is joining the grapple with Amadeus. Can creatures automatically join grapples, or do they need to make rolls?
DC 10.
What's that?
It's like an aid. I believe it's a DC 10 grapple check.
Yeah.
Okay. Is somebody trying to send me a message, or?
Okay.
No. No.
That was just a weird error from.
It made a noise.
Yeah, it made a little bleep. Okay, so
Bleep, you bleep.
it's got a DC 10 to join the grapple, basically. What you're saying?
Yep.
All right. Yeah, unless it rolls a 1, I guess it joins the grapple. Okay, it joins the grapple. Lots of tentacles. All right, Barnabas.
Barnabas,
Flying above this horrible place.
he will. Yeah, he's going to fly up as well.
Okay.
He's going to fly up a little bit higher,
Yep.
and he's going to fireball the rest of those tentacles.
The ones that are coming out of the water on the
Or
right
the
side?
water. Yeah,
Okay.
those ones.
Give me a caster level check to see if you break the surface of the water with the fireball.
Plus 12. I'm guessing a 14 doesn't do it.
Nope, but you're roasting tentacles, all of which should have 14 damage.
It's a good roll. So 41 damage or save for half.
Okay, they can't survive the save for half, so you've basically crippled the lake Decapus by burning off all the ends of its tentacles.
That'll do.
Yep. Royal of black smoke rises from the black fens around the ruins of Rhest, submerged for years. Barnabas, boss. Brennos.
Brennos is going to. I don't know if I want to. They're all grappling. I am going to unleash the tether to land in the boat.
Okay.
I will draw the mighty dwarven thrower and chuck that shit in the lake because I don't want to go down there.
You kind of got a sense of where Slake like jumped into the water and was stabbing with his javelin. So you picked the right squares. Now, throwing things into water.
It's probably hard to do well. I am throwing a bludgeoning weapon
Through the water,
into the
yeah.
lake. I think it's -2 per 5 feet of distance
Yep.
and
Plus
cover.
Plus, they have improved cover when they're being attacked from opponents on land, which effectively you are. So the AC, I'm just going to add the 8. So I know it's AC, and then you take -2 for every 5 feet.
How many 5 feet is it?
2 5 feet.
Okay, so -4. All right. So I get a +1 from above. I'm above you.
Fine.
All right.
So with its cover, it's got an AC of 30.
16, 17, 18, 18, 19, 20, 21. Drop, draw, throw. So I don't have the other bonuses. AC 29. I didn't get hasted, right?
Yep.
I did get hasted?
Okay. Yeah.
AC 30.
Okay, so you hit, maybe. So 50-50. Roll, give me a D2.
1.
Oh, you missed. The ink.
I'm helping. I'm helping. There's a club goes swooping by in the water.
Like at the end of the turn? At the end of the turn or the beginning of your next round? When does it come?
Well, at the beginning of my next round, it appears in my head.
All right, so it's coming back up. Amadeus.
Okay, did he get hasted or no?
Amadeus was in the water and
Yep, that's fine.
couldn't see it.
Right, 43. Okay, so he switches to Kraken style. No joke.
Unleash the Kraken.
And he's going to pin the creature.
Okay, you grab a bunch of tentacles and you're just trying to hold it straight.
Gets a 55.
You start tying tentacles into knots.
And then he's going to grapple for damage.
Okay.
Twice. So 43, so that's 38. 52.
That succeeds.
And 41.
Its CMD is 36.
Okay, so I do double damage because I'm doing non-lethal.
Okay.
No bonus damage.
Fresh calamari.
Do them separately, like the separate damage rolls, because I don't know how much this is. You might have actions left.
Oh, okay. Okay, so the first one we'll do 46 plus 25. Oh, so that would be plus 50. Plus 14 from his wisdom. 77 non-lethal.
Yeah, it's gonna be close. So 77 non-lethal. 94 plus 77, 171. It is 180 hit points with a 2 con loss. Means it lost its hit dice. So yeah, it's unconscious.
Okay.
So that's after 1.
No, that's 2 actions.
Oh, pin and then
Pin and then grapple for damage.
grapple for damage. Okay.
And then I guess he will,
You like let it go, basically.
yeah, let it go, and he'll punch one of the active tentacles in front of him.
Yeah. So these.
Oh, he's got no active tentacles in front of him.
All right. Well, he will. You know where the other creature is because it's now the participant in the grapple.
In the grapple.
With
Yep.
Oh, so I'm still grappling it?
Yeah, you kind of are. When you got rid of this one, you sort of got pulled towards the creature, and
So can I try to pin that one?
you are
I think
grappling
you have
it.
to. I think you have to own the grapple first.
Well, I did own the grapple. It joined a
Oh
grapple.
yeah,
that I
yeah.
owned.
Actually, then you did. Yeah, never mind. Yep.
Yeah, it slipped into not understanding the Amadeus. It slipped into a bad grapple.
Yeah. So this one's plus 30. This one would be the plus 33. So
In a
41.
sneaky octopus sort of way, it's like, okay, you're grabbing me. I'll let my tentacles go around you, and then the Amadeus is like.
So this one would have been the 41. So
Okay.
I'll pin it.
So it's pinned.
Yeah. And that's 6 breath points.
Yep.
6. It should only be 3.
Oh yeah, 1 for each
Oh.
action. That's correct. Yeah, 3 breath points. Widget. You don't
Yeah,
quite
it's like-
understand. There's just a bunch of churning water that both Slake and Amadeus disappeared into, and the tentacles that deigned to show themselves over here were all burned away.
So, are they all right down there? We should go sort of moving. I have there's something physical blocking the site. It's like dark.
Yeah,
It's not just
yeah,
darkness,
you'd
right?
have to see through murk. Something that sees through clouds would work.
Gurgle twice if you need help.
Agony.
Widget will ready a spell at a thing. He'll ready a shadow conjuration. He'll already a phantasmal killer against the thing. If
Yeah,
it's
Agony is going to ready a breath weapon if tentacles arrive, seeing what Barnabas did with the fireball. Flying, he's flapping his wings. I think he's got enough fly that he can hover.
He's 14. I'm pretty sure he can make it.
Is hover DC 15 or DC 20?
15.
15.
He's got a plus 19 on his fly.
Oh, he's
yeah. He with his int bonus when he became half dragon.
Learned a bunch of stuff.
He spent a lot of it in his fly skill. Okay, that is Agony doing the readied. Slake is killing the thing that. Like he's taking 3 attacks. Like he doesn't know it's like unconscious. He didn't know what Amadeus did to it. Doesn't roll 1s. There's a chance he can't see. He hits on the second one. He does enough damage. Well, it's non-lethal. Okay, so he does about 10 damage to it, which is still not enough to kill it. So he's thrashing around in the water, kind of sinking with it now. He doesn't need to breathe, so we don't need to track his breath points. Gordon is going to aid your next grapple attempt.
And does.
Okay, that's 2 breath points for Gordon. Cog.
I'm just going to attack.
Where? Here?
Grab. The thing that grabbed me.
The thing that tried
This
to
guy.
grab you. Okay, and then how are you on top of the water here?
Isn't it still? Is it? Oh yeah, it didn't grab me. I will move myself to the platform here.
Okay.
Like I'll take it. Is it a
Hop
step
up
or
onto
it
the
doesn't
you
matter?
hop up
Oh,
onto the ramp. Yep.
yeah. Actually,
It's very sticky and easy to stand on, and bright and a little bit annoying.
lunging, long arm. Yeah.
Yeah, with the fireball that was successful, the Thogram fireball, it sort of did briefly show where the creature's main body was. So it's basically a few inches under the water that is all inky black, 15 feet over. So you can reach it with your lunge and your arms. You can't see it, but you can reach it.
29, 41.
29, its AC under the water is 30. Are you including a +1 from above?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
You are definitionally above it.
So hit and hit.
4d8 plus 26, 52. Sneak attack. 68?
Okay, so on top of it losing all of its little tentacles, it's now badly injured.
It's exposed. I'll do it again.
Miss and miss.
That 20, damn it. That's cool. So move, attack.
Okay. Haste attack.
Sure, yeah.
It's like asking if you would like an orange slice after your
Ah,
meal. The answer is yes.
I
all the time.
had 30.
Okay.
+1 for. I keep forgetting +1 from.
Yeah, all right.
2d8 plus 26. 36 damage.
8, 30. All right. The creature, you get the sense, is trying to swim away as much as it can with its all its tentacles.
Do not want. Do not want.
Demon.
Just if anything comes up, we'll protect.
Okay. Just in this wobbly boat. Right. Thogram.
Okay, so you're saying there's one over here, and there's one over.
You don't.
Somewhere.
You just know there's a big thrashing area of water. You have a clear indication where this thing is, but it's all of its tentacles are stubs. It does have a big beak. Like if it decided to go and bite someone, it could
But
do that.
these things, we don't know where they are, and there's just
There's thrashing in the water and it's dark.
how deep? I just don't know.
You can't tell. It's
No,
Black
Slake
Okay.
and Amadeus both disappeared under the waves. And
Okay.
they're chopping
You're crazy badmen with giant testicles.
I
just
pull
churning, and like some of the churning is like little bits of the octopus, but there's still lots of churning in the water.
Okay. I'm pulling out a grenade. Pull out another grenade.
He's fishing with dynamite, boys.
Okay.
Using two of my abilities with grenades, the swift pull and the potent blast. So pull an extra grenade as a free action. Then I'm gonna one attack, second attack, and I'm using my concentrated splash. So time and a half damage on the target.
Okay, where are you throwing your grenades, or are we just going to roll to see if you...
Just in the center.
Oh, okay, where that thing is? Yeah, it's right above
Yep.
the water, so it does have improved cover, so it does get a bonus on its reflex save.
Okay.
Or are these are touching the creature itself?
These are
so-
these are landing on the creature.
Okay, so it's got a touch AC of 18 with improved cover,
2 touch.
and...
There's a reflex save with the grenades.
There is a reflex save on the grenades though.
Yeah. You'll get a reflex save.
17 DC 17.
Okay, made it with the cover.
Okay. So 6d6 plus 3d6, sorry. Plus 7.
It doesn't
First
have
grenade.
evasion.
Sorry.
It doesn't have evasion. So
That's good.
Half.
So the first grenade does 18 becomes 27.
So 13 damage.
Yep. Second one does 17, 27, 26, 13 damage as well.
Okay. You see little chunks of the creature float to the top.
Redneck fishing up in here.
Sonny?
Where are you going?
Is everything going okay down there, Amadeus? How are you feeling?
Oh, you got the thing. Got it.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Have you seen Slake?
Nope.
and then he's going to relay to everyone else. Amadeus is down there. He's doing all right. Slake is too stubborn to take magic, so hopefully he can get up at some point.
All right.
And
The tentacles of the lake Decapus, or the lake Decapi, this one's just hobbling off into the darkness. It's swimming at half speed because it lost all of its tentacles. Its half speed swim is still 15. However, it does have an emergency jet power that allows it to, as a full round action,
Scoot. Yeah.
scoot at a speed of 200 feet. So it basically...
Is it aim a little wonky? Is it kind of a corkscrew?
Yeah, it's kind of a corkscrew. It only goes about 100 feet, but the injured Decapus is disappearing into the depths of the ruins, leaving behind the one that's grappling Amadeus and is now pinned. I guess it has to try to break pinning.
Yep.
Okay.
This was such an Amadeus encounter.
Nat 1.
Oh my goodness.
And then not a 20, and then close, but not a 20. So it's struggling. It's struggling and trying to worm. Every time it tries to worm a little tentacle into there, you either bite it or push it away. You're wrapping the tentacles up, and Gordon's attached to the thing's face, and you guys are having a fun time down here. It's a little dark. It's a little wet.
Amadeus gets a bath.
Yeah.
Barnabas.
I don't even think they can hear me down there.
Why don't you stick your face in the water?
For 10 reasons.
Possibly 20.
He's just keeping ready in action for fireball tentacles if they come up.
Okay. Brennos.
We're fishing with hammery dynamite, I think. We're going to pick a spot where we see thrashing and throw down and hopefully not clobber a friend.
Got it. Okay.
I don't even know if he's attacking the right square. He will adjust his judgments to a attack and damage because, you know.
All right, there's 9 squares of the creature and 2 squares of Gordon and Amadeus. So
Okay.
give me a D11. If it's 10, it's Amadeus. If it's 11, it's Gordon.
It's creature.
Okay, yeah, you're just like, oh, we'll go center mass over there.
Over there.
All right, so AC 30 with the -4 on your end with a 50-50 miss.
AC 37.
Okay, you strike something.
Aha! Surrender. I didn't even calculate my damage because I didn't think it hit shit.
Dwarven throws into the water again, just plunging angrily into the water.
32 damage divided by 2. 16 damage. I should have baned animals. I didn't think it hit. It's mostly a show of, look, I'm helping.
Yeah, so something plunged angrily into the water ahead of you, Amadeus, but Amadeus?
Okay. 45. Actually,
Wants
Gordon's
you
on.
to let go.
Yeah, I'm not going to. I'm going to.
I think he will in a minute.
I'll
about
let you
6
go
seconds.
in about 6 seconds.
Tie it up, but leave it at the bottom of the lake because that's funny.
So for TMB 62.
Yeah,
44
that's also a yes.
and 38.
That's also a yes.
Oof.
That last one by 2. You are swimming though, right? You don't have a swim speed?
Correct.
So you are at a -2 to all of these checks, but the 36 still wins. Like you still get it.
Plus 14. So 77, 81, and then 79.
You're just grappling for damage.
Yep.
Okay, you end up finding its beak, and after ripping off a few of the tentacles, you just open its beak and just open it too wide for the creature. And are these non-lethal?
These are non-lethal.
All right, you pound it into submission.
It squeezes the ink right out.
Yeah, yeah. You've got these two floating corpses. The struggling has died down. Combat is over. Amadeus, what are you doing with the creatures that you?
He just lets them go and swims back up to the boat.
Okay.
Well, he grabs Gordon, make sure.
Yeah, Gordon scoots up to the surface and is breathing, and Amadeus and Gordon surface.
Brennos will help them back in the boat.
Okay.
Where the fuck is Slick? Good job. Where is Slick?
Well, I didn't see him down there. It's all linky black.
Slick.
He's still fighting tentacles that are flying around.
Just fighting tentacles are fighting
a lot
back.
of blood and bits are rising to the surface, and you don't see a slake.
To cast light on a stick or rope and toss it down so he can pull himself up.
Widget and Sunny are doing rock dagger parchment.
Dagger parchment.
I don't know that. You okay down there, buddy? Sunny is going to turn into a. I don't want to turn into a goldfish. All right, we're turning into a goldfish. He does it in the air and falls into the water. Sploosh.
And you go swimming down. The ink is starting to dissipate, and you can see like chunks of these creatures and the big knocked out tentacled thing with a bunch of knots in its tentacles. It was just knotting tentacles as they were coming at him. And yeah, you go down about 60 feet or so. And there are some swamp reeds and things floating, and then you can just see Slake standing at the bottom. He's got his spear stuck in the body of one of the big ones, and he's just.
Are you ready to go?
What?
Are you ready to go?
It's you. Stupid magic.
It's useful sometimes.
Oh,
I wouldn't have had to get all wet if you would have accepted the blessing this morning.
Yeah, he pulls out the javelin and. There's all city down here.
All right, there is a whole shitty down here.
I'll just walk along the bottom.
All right. Do you have rope?
Yeah.
Uh,
I say that, but I know he carries a small arsenal of non-magical things. Yeah, he's got 50-foot silk rope, grappling hook.
do you have anything that floats?
Not really. Look, these dead things float, though. He lets go of the decapus, and its body slowly drifting upwards. I'll be able to climb out somewhere. He just starts walking along the bottom.
Just drop down something that's got light cast on it so we can see it. We can pull him up.
So Sunny's like,
Grab the magical thing.
we need a non-magical solution. There's a city down here. I need something that floats on the top with a rope that goes down that we can tie to Slake so that we know where he's at. Has to be, remember, non-magical. And then he's like, telepathic Bond version of air quoting non-magical.
Alright, hold on.
Dead bodies
got here.
float. You just follow the seagulls.
Sonny's like, I don't want him to be right. Okay. We're going to get him to tie his rope to one of the tentacles of one of the bodies.
Okay.
And then tie it to himself. And the other end to himself, so that there's like a little thing so that we can see above water where he's at underwater. Like there's a
All right.
like a little buoy.
I'm gonna spend a DM point at this point in time. So you jury rig the corpse of the giant lake decapus to a piece of rope. It's messy. It kind of does the trick. Eventually Slake gets tired of pulling the decapus around. But when you begin to search the ruins, having a slake wandering around the bottom does help you find a large entrance that has been burrowed.
If it doesn't work, Sonny will actually stay with Slake as a goldfish.
Okay.
Because he can communicate to the top in short bursts.
A mucky, horrible, bad tasting, if you don't have life bubble up, subterranean ruin kind of underneath where the town hall is.
What happens if a druid is a fish form and tries to use life bubble?
I think you're still able to breathe. Yeah. Like it's life bubble, not like
shelter of air or something.
Yeah, you're fine. It's okay.
It's just a weird combination.
There are air pockets down here, but even more important is there is treasure down here as you find the very dirty lair of the two black dragons. I'm going to paste the treasure that you find from the black dragons in your party sheet. There are a number of valuables. I'm going to paste it into stream just so people can see. Oops.
10,000 jacinth, 5,000 jasper.
I will paste all the valuables in your northern expedition sheet.
Hey.
Even more so are the magics that are here, including Faberlang, a +4 spell-storing cold iron dagger. The Kong hammer is a +3 adamantine maul that deals triple damage against objects that requires a strength 18 to wield, and I've used the third-party stats for maul.
Giant hammer? That's like the hammer of the giants, whatever the
It is similar to the power of a Titan maul, but I made it instead of just a great club, like an actual battle.
An actual weapon. Oh,
yep.
Goodness.
The Rhest battle bow is a +2 anarchic darkwood composite shortbow, strength 20. The crown of Rhest is a circlet of mental superiority +2, with the skill sense motive inside of it, with the secondary power of a crown of major blasting. You find a deep red sphere ironstone that is a +2 enhancement bonus to Dex. And one item which was recently put here is called the Belt of Superior Dwarven Kind. It is one of the lost regalia of the diplomat.
Ooh.
Which I think Desaad is wearing.
Desaad's got two of those.
Yeah.
He's got the elf and gnome.
Yeah.
That's some cool stuff.
Plus the rings that you already found off the dragon, which was the ring of wizardry, the ring of evasion.
Yes.
Chain.
We do a quick, sort of like detect undead, detect evil, like we're trying not to get ganked by banshees. We don't know if they're here or not. But
yeah, the banshees are nowhere near the dragon lair, and you search enough to find the dragon lair and kind of pull out the treasure.
I don't think we cared about anything else.
Yeah.
No, it was the treasure and get out.
Yeah, you haul up a bunch of treasures to your little riverboat and then begin heading back, I'm assuming, to the cabin in the swamp.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
We have to take this lake Just like
So basically, your little expedition is about 4 or 5 days, and every single night there's an attempted nightmare on Thogram. It has become a ritual.
Brennos is getting to know that which is evil and chaotic.
Got it.
Because this is.
So yeah, so I haven't had a chance yet, but I wanted to figure out how much it would cost to once a day item pleasant dreams.
Yep, that is a long downtime event. It's possible, it's magic, it just may be prohibitively expensive until you do a proper downtime.
Yeah.
Yeah, in time required to craft. Okay, I'm going to figure out some XP offline. There is a high chance that you've got enough XP for 13th level, and then your party needs to make the decision of do you take the 15 days off to train, or do you double the price of the training to do it in like 7?
I think we'll double the price.
And then do you do this before going on to your next location, which sounds like you're heading towards the mines, you said?
Yeah.
I think we're doing the mines.
Yeah, I think so too.
Well, it'd be terrible for us to die to the giants and not avenge the Slake's family. Like that's
Let's do the
dwarf.
family
And are
first.
you marching around the mountains, or are you somehow traversing over the mountains? Or are you trying to traverse through the mountains?
Well, this is a question for Slake, isn't it?
How bad do you want to avenge your family?
He says he has no problem walking around.
So it's like how I think it's like we catch up to him at like we do the math to find the fastest way to get
Yep.
Slake there.
You also don't need to go back to the cabin in the swamp because you could just keep on going. You're going.
Yep.
Okay. So you could just rest tree fort style the side of the swamp and then
Tree fort.
Okay, continue on your way. It's a good place to leave it. As is tradition, we need to name the game.
Oh, what did we call it? Kinder
This Kinder Surprise was one of them,
Kinder Surprise.
and then, well, that Kinder Surprise, or I think it might be Kinder Surprise. I think that's like. If you take away the Slaadi, there's also there's lots of surprises. Like that was really the main thrust of this.
What would we fight? We fought one banshee, found 2 treasures, fought 3.
A lot of things happened, and then there was a conversation with the crazy dragon and a commune with a god.
Busy day. It was all in one day.
Wow, there was a series of days as you.
There was like a 4-day time fold.
Oh, that's right.
Kinder Surprise is interesting. Amadeus.
Amadeus.
I like
Funny.
Ramenos.
Amadeus, okay.
I had to get packing in.
Okay, alright. Yeah.
Get up in the morning.
Damage against
It's
objects.
a good place to leave it. Okay, as we didn't stream this one due to internet being slow, this will be posted to YouTube for those watching. Thanks for your support, and as always, we hope you enjoy this as much as we do. Peace, have a good night.
Yeah, night guys. Cheers.
That goes.